Hey everyone, welcome to the People Speak Out, and it's great to be back in the hosting seat. Sass is flying out to Bali to be with her daughter, so she's going to be away for a little while. So I'm going to be hosting today, and I didn't actually realize when I put the invitations out that there's actually a full moon happening during this call at 12:38. It's at 11 degrees of Capricorn. So it's a very interesting thing that we've got a full moon happening during this call, and especially given that it is in Capricorn, which is the patriarchy, because obviously Cancer, where the sun is in Cancer and the opposite sign is Capricorn. So the sun is the mother, the matriarchy, and the Capricorn is the patriarchy. So this is happening at 11 degrees of Capricorn. And of course, that Capricorn was where everything kicked off back in January 2020. There was a stellium of planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, the Sun. I think there may have been one more, I can't quite remember, but there was a whole stellium of planets in Capricorn at the time that the whole COVID nonsense kicked off. So it feels very symbolic, actually. So I thought I would just open so we can land in the space with a just a little very short visualization. And if you've been following Rachel Speaks Out, you'll know that I'm an avid follower of Neville Goddard, and it was Joel Gazdar who put me on to listening to him. He's a bit like an Alan Watts, and I was listening to him again last night, and he talks about the power of the imagination, because when you can fully feel something or fully vision it and fully feel it in your imagination, then it's only a matter of time before it manifests in your 3D reality. So his whole teaching is about the power of imagination and the fact that we are all conscious creators. But unfortunately, because we're never taught this in school, of course, and we kind of only come across this kind of secret wisdom, what happens is we end up tending to focus all of our energy on the things we don't want, and putting lots of energy into fighting what we don't want, and very little time and energy spent in visualization and guided meditation. And it is super powerful, and I know that from having done some hypnotherapy many years ago, manifested some amazing things, and like, oh my god, this really, really works. So I'd love to just take us through that just for a couple of minutes, and just to say, if you would like to share, particularly anything you would like to release, because full moons are big endings, really. So anything that you would like to release and let go of, please come on and share that, or share whatever's happening to you. So the usual thing applies: raise your hand and we'll know to come to you. I noticed Roger's already got his hand raised, so we'll come to you when I finish this. So if you can just unfold everything, uncross your legs, uncross your arms, and sit with your spine straight. It really helps to have a straight spine, feet flat on the floor. Let me just go to participants. I'm going to mute you all, but I'm going to allow you. No, I'm not going to allow you to unmute yourselves. I'm going to ask you, because otherwise, if there's a lot of people on the call, it does get a bit can get a bit hectic if people unmute themselves. Okay, so dropping into the space, and let's just take a few long, slow, deep breaths just to calm our nervous system. I've certainly been rushing around this morning, and I can feel myself being quite busy and activated. And the way to calm the nervous system, the easiest way, is just to take 3 long, deep breaths in through the nose and blowing out slowly over the bottom lip. And it's kind of like a big sigh. So just dropping from mind into body and feeling the support of the earth beneath your feet. Feel the support of the chair, your sitting bones on the chair, and just consciously drop into your body come out of this morning, everything that you've been doing up until this meeting, come out of this afternoon and everything you're going to do afterwards, and just devote all of your time, your focus and your attention into the current moment, into this People Speak Out meeting and into this visualization. And I want you to imagine that in front of you is a huge cocoon, and it's kind of dark greyish brown, and it's been spun out of this kind of dark greyish brown, what looks like thread. But when you come in closer, you start to see the detail of what this cocoon has been spun from. It's been spun from all of the fear, all of the trauma, all of the toxic foods, all of the chemicals, all of the brown window envelopes which come through the letterbox with letters from the authorities. It's made of all of the fines, all of the debt slavery, all of the red tape, all of the rules and the regulations and the protocols and the procedures and the traffic wardens and the policemen and the notices and the you can do this and you can't do that. This cocoon is spun from all of these threads of everything built up around us, all of the taxes, all of the education system, all of the restrictions, all of the uniforms, all of the compliance, all of the health and safety rules and regulations, everything, all of these guidelines, all of this red tape, it's all woven into this cocoon. And because you are aware of this cocoon and you're already starting to push against this cocoon little bit by little bit, little action by little action, standing up, saying no, pushing against the system, you start to realize you're inside this cocoon, but the cocoon is starting to break. It's starting to crack. And through these cracks, you can see this light. This light is starting to come through. This bright light starting to come through. And as the light starts to come through, it gives you that confidence to push even harder, to flex your wings, to push, to question, to stand up, to ask, to say, I do not consent. To start to get more wisdom about your rights. Starting to listen to other people who have that wisdom. Starting to join together with others so that collectively we can strengthen our wings and push against the system, and those cracks get bigger and bigger and wider until we get to the point where we can see our way out. We can push our way out. And as we push our way out and we strengthen our wings and we push and we push and we flex our muscles and we emerge from this cocoon, we start to fly. And we can see as we fly away, we can see beneath us this cocoon just drops away effortlessly to the ground, where it's just going to rot and return to the earth. And you notice as you're flying in this new dimension, in this bright and light and colourful new dimension that you didn't quite realize existed before, where it's full of flowers, it's full of opportunity, it's freedom. You have absolute freedom in this dimension. And you can see all around you other butterflies are flying. And it's like you are this giant swarm of butterflies, all enjoying this beautiful blue sky, sunshine, open existence of being in nature, being free, not being restricted. You can fly anywhere you want. You can do anything you want. There's an abundance of space. There's more than enough room for all of the butterflies. There's more than enough flowers for all of the butterflies, all of the pollen. And it truly is an abundant world full of freedom. And this truly is our liberation. And we are empowering ourselves. We're empowering ourselves through healing ourselves, through eating really well, through bringing back our full 100% vitality. We're opening to all opportunities. We're saying yes and showing up. We're trusting in the magic and the power of the universe. So we are in this process of liberation, and this full moon in Capricorn, this cocoon, is simply starting to drop away now. Nothing to fight. Everything is there to empower us. Everything is a gift. No exceptions. Everything is strengthening us as we prepare to fly. So just visioning that strongly now, fully feeling the amazing exhilaration of that freedom, of that liberation. Feeling the expansion in your heart. And knowing that that's what we've all been doing collectively, bit by bit, piece by piece, over the past 3 years in particular. So coming back to the room, opening your eyes, coming back to this dimension. Hopefully that didn't go on for too long. It's almost 12:12. So let's start coming to people and hear from you. Let's come to Roger first. Hey, Roger. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for hosting this, Rachel. I thought your description of the contingency of the stress cocoon was so very good and succinct, and how we're going to liberate ourselves from it. So I just want to come to a letter which I received from, and you know about this because I told you about this before.
Yes.
HM Courts and Tribunals Service, which came to me, and this organisation was delegated by the Minister of Justice to write to me. He couldn't do it himself. And this letter is, of course, of no legal value at all, because it's not signed. And that's done on purpose, because this can never be taken to a court as evidence to support anything. So that's done on purpose. Anyway, this is the interesting thing about this letter. It says, and this is absolutely true, by the way, there is no legal right to travel in the UK, and it is not one of the rights in the European Convention of Human Rights. Okay, so let's just analyze that sentence. Well, to start with, he's absolutely right in what he says. He doesn't explicitly say that in the Constitution or in the European Convention of Human Rights. But what he does say in the Constitution and Convention of Human Rights is that we do have a right to pursue happiness. Now, to pursue happiness and pursue in and of itself gives the
Roger, we
impression.
can't see you, by the way. Can you move back onto camera? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyhow, it's my words that are important, not my face. Anyway, so we have the right to pursue happiness. And that word pursue gives you the idea anyway, that it's traveling. So traveling is part of pursuing happiness. So it is a right to travel, but you won't find that in legislation, quite right, because that legislation is not designed to help we the people. Only the Constitution is designed for that. Some of legislation does actually incorporate common law, so that's fine. Sometimes legislation does apply, but rarely. The point is, it's it's our right to be able to rely on the Constitution. You won't find that easy, by the way, but I've found it. And if somebody wants to get a copy of the Constitution, you can find my email on the chat. And you'll also find on the chat something else, which proves the unlawfulness, and if you like, illegitimacy of Charles Windsor as being the king. He is not, and neither was his mother. And this is demonstrated by way of the fact that they, so far, are not upholding the laws of the origin of our Constitution and all our laws, and that is the Bible. If you look at the 4 books in the Bible, which is Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy, those are the principal laws which society must adhere to. And neither his mother or himself so far, with his first bill that he signed into legislation, which is something to do with genetics. I've forgotten the name of it just now. Like being able to genetically create basically GMO animals. So that certainly is not part of the laws that I've described in those 4 books. So if you go to the chat, you'll find something which explains that. And if you want any more information, my email is there. Please write to me. And that's it. I've said my bit.
Thanks, Roger. Okay, so just to mention to everyone, Roger had the most brilliant vision in our Love Beacons meeting last Friday, because you probably know that the Love Party, we've basically decided not to pursue having an electoral commission registration. It's been an absolute nightmare to deal with them. They're completely blocking democracy. We also had our bank account closed without any notice or explanation. Well, 28 days notice, no explanation. I noticed that Nigel Farage has had the same thing done. This is what's starting to happen now, folks. The system does not want the liberation movement, the freedom movement. It doesn't want people who are breaking out. It doesn't want the butterflies bursting out of the cocoon. And they're doing everything they can to make it as difficult as possible for us. So Roger had the most amazing idea, which is because actually the UK does not have a written constitution. I know you just said it did, but well, you could say the Magna Carta, but everyone that lawyers will say, well, there's no written constitution. So why don't we write one, folks? You know, why don't we write that we, the people, write a constitution like the founding fathers of America did back in the 18th century? So that would be quite an incredible, just that one single manifesto kind of point of a whole raft of freedom movement people standing as independents in the next general election, appealing to the lost electorate who fed up with politics, who think the whole thing is a complete fraud, who haven't got time for it, don't think that they have any power, the 60 to 70% who don't even bother to vote. What about that one compelling thing? To vote in heart-centered, independent candidates who simply represent the people, and that together we will write a constitution to assert the rights of the people for and a constitution written for the 21st century, not 1215 when the Magna Carta was created. And that came from you, Roger. So I salute you and I thank you. And I would really suggest putting all your focus onto thinking and visioning what would that constitution contain, rather than, because the thing is, Charles Windsor, the more energy we put on, yes, he is the king, no, he isn't the king, yes, he is the king, no, he isn't the king. This system needs energy to feed it. The Wetiko needs energy. If we just ignore it like that cocoon and focus all of our energy on what we do want to create, that is the power of the imagination. And this is the trick of the system. It's lured us into focusing all our energy onto fighting it. And the more we fight it, the more we energize it. So it's so important to realize that let's focus our energy on co-creating what we do want and put all of our focus there. Just wanted to mention that. Sorry to hog the call. I'm going to come to Amanda now. Thanks, Roger. Hey, Amanda. You're calling from New Zealand?
That's correct, thank you.
What time is it there? Midnight?
It's 11 p.m. or 11:20, should I say.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to say something about Jacinda. It makes me so angry to know that she's been given the title of Dame.
Jacinda Arden, yeah?
Yep. She's been given the title of a Dame, and she doesn't care about all the vaccine injured, but yet she's been given the title of a Dame.
What does that mean, Dame? What's important about being a Dame? Explain to me.
The knighthood.
And what I'm saying is so what? I mean, in their system, they give people all sorts of titles like the Right Honourable or the police officer or police constable or prime minister. In their system, they give people all sorts of titles. His Royal Highness, the King. That's a title. It's meaningless. It's only means something if you believe in it.
Well, I certainly don't believe in it, but the rest of the people will still believe in it.
But this is what we're breaking, you see. This is the point, Amanda. It's like that old system has no power. It's losing its power. It doesn't matter.
It certainly is losing it.
And there's plenty of people who are knighted who then have fallen from grace big time when their scandals have been exposed. So it's only a matter of time that karma will sort out Jacinda Arden. We don't need to worry about that. God will sort it out. Karma will sort it out. We just need to focus on, okay, what are we going to create out of this shit show?
Yeah.
Because, they need your anger. The system needs your anger. The Wetiko loves it when you get angry and outraged. Didn't you hear Yuval Noah Harari and in that interview saying one of their biggest tools is outrage? That's what they're using. They're doing stuff to create outrage and anger and fear because they need it to feed. That's what they feed off. What if we didn't what if we didn't feed them anymore?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is outrageous, but I do agree. I'm not making you wrong, but I'm just saying, let's just let the whole lot fall away now.
It is crumbling. Certainly is.
It definitely is. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks for coming on. Are you complete? Shall I move on to Eli?
Yes, move on.
Thanks, Amanda. If you want to speak again, come put your hand back up again. So let's come to, is it Eli or Ellie?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name's Eli, but
Hi.
if you're in Wales, you can call me Ellie.
Hi, Eli.
Hi. Thanks for holding this session, Rachel, and thank you for everything you do.
Thanks.
I do have a couple of things to talk about. I'm going to try and condense it to a small amount of time, but this is very auspicious. Can I share my screen, Rachel, for a minute?
I think you...
Can I try? Okay. So I'll just tell you. So it would be good to share my screen.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I think you can.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, let me just... Right. Try now.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so I do have a couple of things. You're going to like this. You're going to really love this. Okay.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, you will definitely. So this is my screen. Just bear with me. Let me just see if I can get that. Can you see my whole screen?
Yeah, Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned Neville at the beginning of the conversation. I did a talk in Shaftesbury last week about manifesting the new world. And my last shot was talking about Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. And I left the audience hanging with that thought. Just to let you know, Neville Goddard was an incredible man. He was born in Barbados, and he was given wisdom codes and secrets from an Ethiopian rabbi called Abdullah. And when he went to America, he actually was on television. He was given a TV show about esoteric Christianity. You can imagine that being on the telly now. But that book, Feeling is the Secret, has all the secrets about manifesting. That book. So I just wanted to say that because you mentioned him at the beginning. And the other one was, where is it? Here we go. So can you see Greg Braden's book there?
Yes, Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer.
Yeah. So that book is basically expands on Neville Goddard's work. And that also talks about the emotion. I can actually tell you literally how manifestation works. It's very simple. You have a focused intent. It's placed in the present. It is positive, and you charge it with your emotion.
Yeah.
So you have to feel what it is like to embody that particular intention. So if you want to manifest a holiday on a beach, go to the beach in your mind. I am at the beach. I'm having an amazing experience, and feel that emotion. And you will literally manifest that.
Yeah.
So that book, that Neville Goddard book, and the fact that you said that, Rachel, was beautiful because it is absolutely where we need to be. So I just wanted to say that. So there's another reason why I've come on, and it's actually I don't know. I know you're really busy, Rachel, but I'm organising this event in August, and I'd like to invite you as my guest if you would like to come. Can you see that?
It's kind of stuck.
Is it?
The screen. Can you refresh it, maybe?
Hold on. Is that better?
Yeah. Oh, the Shine Seminars Summer Celebration 4, 5, 6 August, Westbury-on-Severn.
Yeah. So I do this thing called the Shine Seminars, and we've been doing it since September 2021, and it's pure positivity.
Cool.
And in fact, you've got a couple of people in your group today who are actually know about the Shine Seminars. And I'll just quickly go through this. It is a plug, but it is also an example of getting people together to talk about how we can move forward positively. So I'm very lucky to have Laura Eisenhower coming over from America, and she's going to be with us for 3 days. We've got Clive de Carl talking about nutrition and the self-healing homeostasis of the body. Mark Devon is actually going to do the sound of science, so he's going to talk about solfeggio's frequencies and the power of sound. Darren Giogi is going to talk about the new native and the power of us as an indigenous race in Britain. Chloe Goodchild is going to do empowerment through voice work. And I don't know whether you know Emma Farrell, but Emma Farrell wrote an amazing book called Plant Consciousness, and she is an absolutely phenomenal talent. And also we've got Juliet Bryant, as you can see underneath, who is also a superfood guru. She's absolutely beautiful as well. Michael Feely is going to be talking about the secrets of the secrets, and he'll be talking about the sacred geometry. And we've got Rory Duff and Maria Wheatley as master dowsers coming as well.
Yeah, Pam Gregory, the astrologer, talks a lot about Rory Duff, doesn't she?
Yeah. Rory and I have done joint events together, and he's great. I only kind of speak to him once every 6 months, but he comes up with these amazing updates whenever I speak to him. So
Yeah.
and we've got another 30 speakers.
Yeah, fab.
Do get in contact with me, Rachel, if you want to come as my guest. You're more than welcome to come along. Believe it or not, we've actually got Richard Vobes coming for the 3 days. But I can't put him on the flyer because he's not speaking. He's just going to do his podcasts from our event.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and hopefully Mark Atwood will be coming as well, but he's yet to give me a definitive yes. So that's our lineup for the days. That's what we're doing for the whole day, for the whole 3 days. And we
Cool.
have got, some amazing people in there. We've got
Okay,
so
Eli.
there we go.
So yeah. Put a link in the chat so people, if they want all the full detail, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'd like to say, Rachel, is it's a beautiful path you're on, and I'm so grateful because I watch Rachel Speaks Out, and I'd love to come and do an event with you in Derbyshire at some point. I'm truly on this path of absolutely not giving my energy to the beast at all.
Yeah.
I do a talk called Disconnecting from the Matrix, which is how to kind of just find your own empowerment and not spend money in the wrong places and give your energy away. So I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for your lovely people who are here today. And I'll pass over. Thank you.
Thanks, Eli. Thanks for coming on. We're going to come to Patrick next. We're 6 minutes away from the full moon moment. So Patrick, this might be talking us up to the full moon. Can you unmute? Patrick, can you unmute yourself, please? Hi.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and this might be a little bit redundant because you already mentioned it, Rachel, but I found this thing about Nigel Farage just quite amazing. I mean, it's amazing that, first of all, something like that can happen. But then secondly, there's no mention of it on the BBC or Sky News or nothing. I mean, it just seems amazing. And I guess it's sort of similar to what I see happening in America, with Trump. I'm not necessarily a Trump fan, but, they make it impossible for him with legal blockades of one kind or another. So that seems to be the way the world is going now. It's sort of, I find it really astounding,
Well, that cocoon, which is splitting open, you can imagine that they're trying to desperately hammer in a few extra nails and barricade it up and wrap it with brown tape and string to try to stop it from opening. That's what's happening. They're desperately trying to keep it in place.
Yeah, I guess so. And I suppose it's maybe you mentioned this also. I think it's a warning for the future because, everybody's worried about this digital currency and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is sort of showing what can be done already. Even
Exactly. Absolutely. And that's the point. And that's the thing. Everyone's worried about this digital currency. Well, we wouldn't be worried if we had an alternative.
Right.
Would we?
Yeah. So, but I mean, if they can do it now today with all these so-called rules and regulations into place, what the future, I mean, it hardly bears thinking about.
But this is the point though, isn't it? Because every time they try and restrict someone like Nigel Farage, it just makes him stronger, even more determined. Every time the system tries to shut someone up, they speak even louder.
Yeah, well, that's true, but this is going down rather quietly. I mean, maybe not, but I mean, maybe it'll explode in a few days. But I'm just generally shocked how quietly and how it's being done without much protest. But then again, I guess you could argue the protest is not seen in the media. It doesn't mean it's not there.
Well, it's kind of like termites nibbling away at the foundations of a building. It doesn't look like much is happening, but then suddenly, boom, the whole thing collapses. That's we're nibbling away. And listen to that speech of the guy in New South Wales. I posted it. The single guy who's got a seat in Parliament, and he did his maiden speech. He covered all of this stuff in New South Wales Parliament, and he got a standing ovation from all of the MPs assembled. People are realizing what's going on. People are waking up. Even he was there on their 5th jab there. He was saying the take up is so low because obviously they're in the winter.
Right.
I guess they're on the 5th jab and no one's having it. Everyone's waking up.
Yeah.
So it's happening. And the mainstream media isn't going to report it.
No.
No way are they going to tell us the truth, because they're all owned by the World Economic Forum, but they've got a lot of money at stake on pushing this through. So, the people, this is the people power, word of mouth. That's why offline meeting, going to stand in the park, going to freedom meetings, going to shine seminars, going in real human one-to-one contacts is much easier to have a conversation about what's going on when you're not on digital media, because human communication is so much more powerful when it's face-to-face.
Right. Yeah, the media in general is such a huge problem. I mean, I follow the Russian-Ukraine thing pretty closely, but it's just amazing. Just about every story that comes out of the mainstream media, you just turn it upside down and kind of go from there. I mean,
absolutely, because it's a satanic inversion. It's all an inversion, all of it.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. No, thanks, Rachel.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. Thanks for coming on. And let's come to Robin. So, Robin Ray. Hi, Robin. Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone.
I'll give you the full moon moment.
Full moon moment, and I'm an astrologer.
Oh, are you? Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about this full moon, Robin.
Well, it's on one level, it's a really great full moon because it's actually picking up the UK sun and the USA sun, and it's making nice aspects to Saturn and Jupiter. But at the same time, we've got this massive square forming between Pluto and the nodes, and all the other planets that are going to go through Cancer are going to be picking up that particular T-square. This is a massive shift. When the nodes are about to change signs and they're squared by Pluto, it really indicates great change. And you can see it in the charts. And what I do is I run a group for awake astrologers, and I must say that there aren't that many in actual fact. I think in my group there's about 50, but I mean there's thousands of astrologers. And I run this group every fortnight, and we put all the charts up of all the people who are being affected by the transits and the moon phases, etc. And if anyone's interested in joining that group, it's free of charge, and I run it every alternate Tuesday. And we just try and, bring out the charts and say, look, this is the negative side of it, but this is the positive side of it. And really going along the lines that you've always, proposed, to just keep being positive, keep knowing that everything is going to change for the better, and that it's just a matter of time. In fact, we're already there. It's just that, there's this last kind of sweeping up period, I think. And I think the more that we send out the light and the love and do our mantras every day and always be as positive as possible and help everyone as much as you can. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to come along to listen to what we have to say, it is based on the astrology. So quite similar to Pam Gregory in as much, I know Pam quite well. We did a few courses together, and basically Pam does the moon phases each month. But what I do with our group is I put all the moon phases up, and then I link them to all the people who are in the news at the time, or the countries. So, we probably look at about 20 charts on a Tuesday night.
What is that, online or in person?
Yes, it's all online. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
if anyone gets in touch with me, because I'm quite careful who I put this out to, because we have had, you know, a few people that we've had to kind of remove.
Oh dear.
Troublemakers, as you know. But yes, it's under my name. My name is Robin at robinray.com.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
it's called Current Affairs, and it's every fortnight. And I've actually, for the last few years, I've been printing a moon phase diary, which is linked to the Metonic cycle, which is an amazing timing cycle. I am the only person who's brought out a book on this, on the Metonic cycle. And we use it to time all the different events. And then, you know, we've been going for the last 3 years now, so we can now go back to every moon phase, and we can link the story from when it began and how it developed and when it's going to end. So this is why we're all really positive, because we know that everything ends, and you know, everything ends and that's final, or it ends like a conception, it starts again into another cycle. So you know, and the last quarter moon is probably the most, every month we have a last quarter moon. The last quarter moon is the most important moon, and you will find in the last quarter moon week that there is so much news that, you know, that links up to what's been going in the last 27 months. So
Yeah.
so watching the astrology has really given all of us a lot of hope.
Cool.
So,
Okay, Robin, thank you.
So yeah, anyone wants to come along, just email me and we'll put you on the books. Okay, lovely to speak to you, Rachel, and thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks, Robin.
Bye.
Someone just put your link on there. Eli has. Okay. We're going to come to. Could you mute yourself, Robin, because I can't see your picture anymore. And let's come to Brian now.
Hello,
Hey, Brian.
Really great to see you. You're glowing as per normal. Yes. Where'd you get all your energy from? You're prolific. Thank you for helping us all. Amazing input. Your wisdom is unlimited. Yes, so I tried to catch up with some of that stuff, but you are amazing. You're hard to catch up with. Got to be fit.
Thanks, Brian.
Yes, so full moon, yes. I'm DNA awake. I'm an enlightened being, isn't it? I know nothing. Nature gives me a unique experience. But I guess there's a dark side to that moon, isn't there? Difficult to put this stuff into words. With Tico, I sort of do the shadow work. I came back here. I'm on a sort of home territory. Yes, eagles fly alone. And yes, I can get back into being sociable with these, making amends, building bridges. It's all good fun, isn't it? Dropping the anger, transforming my life. And you do this, and you have done it, and it is amazing. So you feel it, don't you? How are you feeling now? Is it a full moon now, you were saying?
It was at 12:38. Yeah, they do say fully feeling is fully healing. And so this is the thing. They say the depth of your pain is the height of your joy. Because the more you feel, the more you bring your heart back online and you unfreeze your frozen trauma, the more you can feel. And
and this is why our manifestations might not come to us, isn't it? Because at the back, in our subconscious, we've got a block, a mental block or something that comes down to just a fear, which manifests in anxiety and illness. Your DNA awake. Amazing, amazing. The water, I just say the water is magic because the lady was talking about monatomic. I mean, it's an amazing word, really. You know, you go into the monatomic, the water and the monatomic, and it gets quite magical. And it's great to get into that space because you can be unlimited possibilities, can't you?
Yeah.
And we are. And our bodies are like our muscles, aren't they? The more you use them, the better it gets. You practice. So yes, that meditation you were doing was amazing too. Yes, best do it first thing in the morning, isn't it? You know, the sunrise, get into the body. Yes.
So Brian,
I am not the body, am I? I am not the ego. I am not the intellect. Oh yes, this is it. We can get a bit too intellectual, but some of them greats like Alan Watts. Sadhguru broke my heart, but he would say the intellect is like a knife. There's a sort of time and a place it has a job to do.
yes.
And it's like something that Dr. Bond back in the day was talking about the 6 thinking hats, isn't it? Because there's a time for everything, but it's picking the right time and having the right hat on at the right time, and you channel it, don't you? Like it's right to get angry at some stage, but you don't buy into that anger, so you end up in that state of fight and flight, and that you're sort of psychotic even, you know, into that Steve Wright in the afternoon, Mr. Angry.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know,
It can be great fuel, anger. I mean, the original Rachel Speaks Out video was absolutely powered with I was so angry at that rule of 6. I was so angry. I thought, right, I'm going to make a video. And that was just a rant. But it does have power. It's like fire. It's like a flamethrower. That kind of energy of just being a flamethrower, you know.
We can laugh at ourselves now, isn't it? But it's like shooting yourself in the foot, isn't it? And I do the anger management, don't I? Yes. So I have to watch myself, and that's sort of the discipline, isn't it? And the more you get into it, it's just amazing. And if you can mend your broken heart, my heart's been broken, Rachel, but I'm mending it. Yeah. And you give me hope, isn't it? And I love what you're doing at your neck of the woods. Sometimes I feel like, yes, I was talking about manifestation, wasn't I? Yes, I sort of feel like I'm sort of complete here a little bit, and I need to move on because I think I'm sort of complete. So I think you when you were talking about the Constitution, I think I need to reconnect and reset my values, and that would be a great way to do it, wouldn't it? So that we could all get into the one sort of Constitution and the oneness that way. That will give us hope. And,
definitely. Imagine
lead us all forward
we did
to the next step.
We did this visualization on the Friday Love Party Beacon session. I did a similar guided visualization of the Houses of Parliament filled with love, heart-centered love movement MPs, all on the same side and all just bringing so much joy into that place, and no conflict because we're all on the same side, no two sides of the house, and just together recreating the way we do everything. The way that everything is run. It was quite powerful. Anyway, Brian, I'm going to come back to Eli because I was letting you ramble on because no one else had their hand up, but someone has put their hand up now.
Thank you for sometimes, I do the rant as well, but yes, you make perfect sense. Thank you, and yes, have a great day.
Thanks, Brian.
Love it.
Okay. Eli, let's come to you next. Okay. And if anyone else wants to speak, we've got Roger again. So but that's probably going to take us up to, James wants to come on as well. James hasn't spoken yet. So
I'll be
Eli,
quick,
did you have a
Rachel.
quick point? Yeah.
Very quick. So this is really interesting as well. In June 2020, I made contact with a woman in Oxford who was deconstructing the American Constitution and writing it back for the English
Oh,
land.
okay.
And I completely I lost those contact details, which was really frustrating. But I've had this idea before, and I spoke about this the other day as well to somebody about a common law sovereignty person, and said, why don't we write a new constitution?
Yeah.
And I think there's actually a really strong case for us to write a parallel constitution,
Yeah.
because it's something that we can all buy into, and it's not a person, because it's a piece of, it's ideas on a piece of paper. It has a lot of power because people can buy into it, as opposed to buying into something or a group of people. It's something that I'd like to maybe discuss at another time with people, and maybe put that out there, because I feel it's got legs myself. So that's my point.
Yeah. Let's just vision it. And this is the thing about the Neville Goddard, isn't it? He says you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen or the detail. You just vision and feel it, because everything will magically come naturally. And that's like, don't worry about the cursed house, as Mike Dooley says. Okay. Are you complete, Eli? Yeah. Let's come. Roger, I'm going to come to James, because he hasn't spoken yet. And if we get time, we'll come back to you. James, hi.
Hello. First to say hello there, and the second thing is that on our Telegram, I'll sort that out with you at the end of July. It's just that about the crypto. Because money's a bit tight at the moment, so
James, if you've been approached by someone posing as me trying to sell you cryptocurrency, I can tell you it definitely isn't me, if that's what you're saying.
The trust wallet. Remember, I had a conversation on Telegram.
No, it's not. There's a lot of fake accounts on Telegram posing as me trying to do cryptocurrency. I don't have any involvement in cryptocurrency. I don't support digital anything really.
Oh, right,
so it's definitely not me.
All right. Are you on Telegram?
I have got a channel on Telegram, Rachel Speaks Out, but it's a channel, not a person. And these imposters are people posing as me.
That's hours right. Okay, no problem. I just want to point out this book. I'm nearly all the way through it, but this guy there.
The system, death by 1,000 cuts. Yes, the system is against you, but what is the system? Who's it by?
Peter Stone.
Peter Stone. Okay.
Yeah, he's for the Sovereign Project. They're all about the Sovereign Project and how to cancel the system and all. But I was wondering, see your group on Friday. What's that all about?
Say that again.
Your group on Friday. What's that all about?
That's the Love Party group, which is Roger's part of that, and a small group of us meet on a Friday at 1 p.m.
Can I join in to see what it's? Can I join in just to see what it's? See what you are doing?
Are you a member of the Love Party, James?
No, I'm not. So then need to get a member. I'm a member of the Libertarian Party and
okay.
And the Freedom Alliance, but I've been looking a wee bit up on the website. You were saying that you're not going for you're not going forth this year or something.
Well, we're going to stand as independents in the general election. That's the next big thing. The big focus is the 2024 general election. So it's about getting as many heart-centered people to stand in their own constituency as part of a movement of heart-centered people to bring the love back into politics, essentially. And the key proposition of the manifesto is to create a constitution for the people, to assert the people's rights, and to return Parliament to the people. That is.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that because, to speak very frankly, I think the system's crooked,
Yeah.
upside down, and I speak to my church members and friends and all. All you have to do is just look about you, you know what I mean, and just look, and you know what I mean. So I'm the coordinator for Northern Ireland for the Libertarian Party. So hopefully, I like to work with other. I like to see the work with other people.
Yeah.
To try and get something sorted and all. And
yeah.
Stuff.
Okay, James. Listen, I'm going to come to Mel because we're coming up to 1 o'clock, and I just want to get everyone on. So thank you for coming on, Mel. I'm going to come to you, and Roger, I'll give you the last word.
Thanks, Rachel.
Hi.
Can you can hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant today. I've managed to pop on. You manage manifestation. Well, funnily enough, I give lots of lectures on human performance. I've studied this for 30 or 40 years all around the world. And my next one is all about manifestation, but it's free to anybody on here. The details are in the chat. If you just go to meleves.com, it'd be great to see anybody. For an hour, we talk about manifestation. And I do use a lot of Neville Goddard stuff. And,
brilliant.
And it works. And so it's just a free plug for me, but also a free invite to everybody who's on the same path. And thanks, Rachel, for the way that you host and give your energy to mankind. Absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks, Mel. Okay, let's come to you, Roger, for the last words. You've got a couple of minutes. It's 12:57.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, it's just one thing I want people to understand. The link that I've put describes very succinctly why Charles is committing treason and sedition. You don't need to look any further. Please don't be confused by looking at the stone of destiny. That is just confusing, and you'll never be able to work out, the genuinity. So get yourself diverted. Just concentrate on the information given on the link that I've posted on chat. Forget the stone of destiny, otherwise known as the scone or scone stone. Don't get involved with that. Just don't get involved with it. It's a waste of time and proves nothing anyway.
I've just reposted it, so people have got it fresh on the screen there.
Okay, thanks, Rachel. Thank you. That's it.
Are you complete? Okay, yeah. Roger, thank you for coming on. And let's come back to the main screen. Yeah, it's been great to see you. Thanks to everyone. And it's always fun to host these. Sorry if I talk all over everything a lot, but I've just got, as you know, I've just got so many opinions on everything. So yeah, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, have a wonderful 4th of July, and sending you lots of love. So give us a wave, goodbye, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time when Helen will be hosting. Okay, bye for now.